Hey, what up? This is Splash. Thank you for tuning in. So, right now, I'm going to ask you guys to subscribe to my channel, Head Above Water in Asia. Just type that into YouTube and you should see that pop up, Head Above Water in Asia. Right now, with me, I have an author and a YouTube on the line. He is the author of a book called Love Can't Wait. You can find that on Amazon.com and ChooseYourRelationships.com. I have with me on the line right now, Sharp Game. What's going on?
Happy to be here, man.
Oh, that's what's up. Tell the people your YouTube channel real quick.
It's Guy on Girl TV.
Yes, Guy on Girl TV on YouTube. So we're going to touch on a few topics right now. Okay, and the first one, well, let me read off the topics real quick, and then we'll get to the first one. So some of the topics I want to talk about is being insecure will ruin your chances with women and your relationships. The next one is who is more insecure, black men or black women? Number 3, do white guys really have it made in Asia? Number 4, how are other Asian foreigners doing in the dating game in Asia? Okay, and number 5, are you fit to be a parent? Okay, how nerd beta males with children are ruining lives around the world. Okay, hell, I should make that one first. Goddamn, but
Let's do it.
oh, okay, shit. Because I was on your live the other day, and there was a beta male in the comment section. I know you're listening. I'm not gonna say your name. But that's some beta male shit. There's a lot of dudes out here that are just having kids just to do it because having kids and sex is a gift, not a goal. Okay, that shouldn't be a goal in life, especially if you a nerd, if you a lame, or if you have low self-esteem and self-hatred. Have you seen this before? Because there's a lot of men out here, beta males having kids and leaving their children as bastards, especially in Asia. Have you seen that before?
Yeah. I saw it. I actually heard about it in the '90s. I never actually met anybody that just left their kids, abandoned the kids, anything. But I've actually met a few women in numerous countries that have told me this, and in Japan as well. But it's if you lay down with any woman, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. It's not. I just don't know. I just think a lot of guys are irresponsible, man. They just don't know what they're getting themselves into. I think a lot of guys have a lot of uh, preconceptions about what sex is really all about based on the media. They think it's just all about having a good time. It's more to it than just that. I think that has a lot to do. I think that's where most of the problem comes from.
Right. From what I see, man, it's like what it is a lot of dudes who they want what was missing in their lives. I think they were shitted on so many times in their life. The women didn't like them, or the other male peers in their life didn't like them neither. They were homebody. They read comic books all fucking day. And, it's like soon as somebody gives them a piece of ass, it's like now they're so in love and they want to lock it down. They want to get married and they want to have kids because somebody actually likes them, and
Yeah.
then later on you
Yep.
find out this really, ain't really what you signed up for because you weren't really thinking things all the way through. It's like this person is just longing for something that was missing besides actually
Yeah.
thinking things through before they decided to get a woman pregnant.
Yeah. That happens. I think we have to be honest. Most of the women that we encounter, sleep with, most of the time it's going to be just about sex. Nothing more, nothing less. You know, that's just what it is. Now, from you might, I mean, it's a small percentage of women that respect their body, respect their mind. They might even respect you, and of course they're gonna see they're gonna see the experience with you different. But for the most part, the average woman you lay down with, they're gonna look at it. Hey, it's just a good time, you know. But that doesn't mean you have to look at it like that, you know. But that's just something to keep in mind.
Right, exactly. I mean, really, like, I mean, before having kids, you really got to take your time with a woman before you should have kids. I think you should be around a woman for at least, me personally, I would say a
Years.
minimum of like 5 years before you have kids. Like maybe three,
Yeah,
but really
at least two
five.
years. At least I said bare minimum 2 years. You
Damn,
know,
two?
minimum. I mean, at least 2 years. I mean, you got people they don't even make it to 2 years, bro. It's like they couple of months she knocked up. God.
I,
So 2 years is better than what 3 months.
I mean, I know 2 years is definitely better than 3 months, but 2 years, man. I've seen a broad do a whole 180 in 2 years. I'm like, damn, who the fuck is this? Like, you wake up, she's real aggy all the time. It's like you're like, damn, you finally meets, more of her friends. You're like, who the? I'm like, you hang out
Oh,
with
most of the
them?
time, most of the time, let me tell you what happened. I had the same experience. Most of the time, the reason why it's not like she changed or she did a 180, you just didn't see it. The signs were there in the beginning. You just either were inexperienced, you had your own perception of how you wanted to see her. That I've been there. I've done it many times. And that comes from being young. If you're young, you're in your teens or you're in your 20s, you just don't know what you don't know
Well, I mean,
until
some women is like there are no signs in the beginning there because there's actual genuine love for each other. You see what I'm saying? So in like 2 years, she might be like, "Hey, this ain't really it for me," because there are signs when a woman wants to get out of a
oh,
relationship,
that's fine.
and then that's like two
Yeah.
years down the line, and a guy really doesn't pick up on this shit. So those signs in the begin, like those signs may never be there in the beginning. It comes 2 years later because it's like, okay, somebody wants out in a
Oh, that's
relationship.
fine. That's fine. And if she wants to get out, that's fine. But I'm talking about as far as her the type of person she is, her character. That's what I'm mainly talking about.
I know,
I mean, how?
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. But what I'm saying is
Yeah.
like some people like change after 2 years because it's like people grow apart from each other.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So when you say like, all right, it was there, but you didn't see it in the beginning, that may not necessarily be true as pertaining to her character because she might be like, okay, I just want to grow apart, or even you might be like, I want to grow apart. So some people
Yeah.
feel guilty by just going up to somebody and saying, hey, this shit is over. You know what I'm saying? Some people throw
Well,
out certain signs on purpose to get that person to be like, hey, I want out.
well, if they want out, I'm fine with that. If they want out, I'm fine with it. It doesn't bother me anymore. It used to bother me when I was younger because I thought that on some level that it was my fault in some way. But I've learned as I got older, that's not necessarily my fault, so I don't beat myself up. I just if someone doesn't want to be around me, that's fine. I have open door policy. No one is ever stuck around me. If you don't want to talk to me anymore on the phone or be in my presence, that's fine. It's like, look, in life, man, people come and go, man.
Right.
You're not gonna everyone's gonna not gonna be around for the journey. Some people are gonna come and go. Some people around for a couple months. Some people around for 6 months. And that's just what it is. That's just a part of life. Everybody got to go at some point in time. Some people say, well, that's not necessarily true. Yeah, we all got to go. So you got to die someday. So that's just part of life, man. You shouldn't feel bad about it.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
and what comes with a lot of males, longing for something like a family or relationship and scared to let women go is really based on insecurities with themselves,
Yeah.
seeking validation with another woman. You know, why is it that besides insecurity, I mean, insecurity is one of the main reasons, if not the reason. Why are so many guys today so bitch made and betafied and scared to let women go?
I think, man, a lot of people just don't know what they don't know. I don't know if their father had a huge influence in their life, or the mom had a big influence in their life. It's just I think most of the time from the people that I know personally, and I know a lot of guys, it's just a misinformation, man. In most cases, because even if both your parents were there, they might didn't, maybe they didn't want to talk about it. Maybe you never asked, or maybe you didn't know to ask. So it's just a lot of misinformation being thrown around. A lot of times, especially when I grew up, a lot of our parents just wanted us to just assume or just watch me, But sometimes you have to talk about certain things. You can't just let things be by chance. So I think it's just a lot of misinformation out here, and just a lot of guys just don't know. They don't know how they supposed to position themselves around a woman. They just don't know. You know,
I
that's what I
think,
think, man.
I think like even because I've given advice to a lot of people over the years. It's like when you tell them certain shit, it just goes through one ear and out the other. That's why a lot of times I hate giving advice to people because 9 times out of 10 they're not gonna live. They're not gonna listen, especially if it's
No,
over.
they're not.
If it's over a
No.
woman. If it's over a
Yeah.
woman, I'll be like, hey man, y'all got to work that shit out on your own. Like but no. What I'm saying, like, what should I do? We was at the family reunion and she called me a bitch and she punched me in my mouth in front of my moms and my grandmother. Like, what do I do? I'm like, hey, I don't know, man. Like, I'm staying
You
out of
gotta
it.
let her go.
Now,
You
yeah,
gotta let her
the
go.
main thing to do is to let her go, but an emotional man that has issues over a woman, he's not gonna listen, even if you give him the right
No, he's not. He's
information.
not.
Hell, black folks don't listen to each other. Period, on anything.
In most cases, no.
Damn sure over a woman.
Yeah. Yeah. When you give advice, I like when it comes to giving advice for couples. Say if I got a buddy and he got a wife or girlfriend and been together for a long time, they're gonna have some strong emotional ties between each other. So if he asks me, it depends on how he asks me too. If he asks me, hey, if he give me a scenario, what he say, hey, what would you do in this situation, that situation? I'll tell him what I would do. But see, I'm not going to tell him what to do. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because I know if I tell him what to do, I already know he's very emotional about the situation anyway. And 9 times out of 10 is a good chance he might go back and tell her what I said because this has happened to me in the past.
exactly.
And see, the next time I see his woman, she gonna be looking at me funny style. Like I'm like, why are you looking at me like that? Or one of the women actually called me up on my phone and said, hey, stay out of our business. So I'm like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? And she said, hey, he told me what you said. Yeah, but I forgot. I said, hey, he forgot to tell you that he asked me. He put me in y'all business. I didn't ask to be there. So I learned through those two situations that I'll give if they gave me a scenario, say, hey, what would you do in this situation? I say, hey, this is what I would do, but I don't tell them what to do. I learned my lesson.
Yeah, exactly. Hell, I can't even tell them what I would do because, I mean, a lot of people's problems just frustrate me anyway. You know,
Yeah.
people's problems just frustrate me. I'm like, I remember, like out here in Thailand, they got this ratchet ass place called Pattaya, and I had a dude, this woman, like, she had a car, she was driving him around, and this is like a ho-ho. This is this is a beyond a slut. Yeah, y'all don't know slut. This woman has fucked everybody that done came through this club, but he would hang out with her. And
you one of those types. Okay.
Well, hell, all of them are those types over there, but so, she was driving a car, he was riding with her, but I don't know, she had some fucking attitude and kicked him out of the car. For no reason. And he's calling me, asking me like, damn, what should I do? Damn, was I in the wrong? I'm like, are you for real? Like, are you really asking me, were you in the wrong and what you should do about a hoe, about a slut? I'm like, you should be thanking that broad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If she told me to get out, I would get out and I wouldn't care. Get you. Yeah, really. I mean, I don't see what kind of solution he's looking for. I don't understand that.
I don't know. This man was in his feelings. Then she blocked him on Facebook Line Messenger. He was upset about that. I'm like, what the fuck you worried about that broad for?
How old is this girl?
I think right now, at the time she was about 24, 25 or some shit. And she has a kid. And I mean, this dude right now is he's 36 right now. So I'm like, I don't know what you worried about her for. And then he goes back to Pattaya 6 months later, and I already told this man before. I'm like, dude, as black people, you got to stop seeking validation from these slutty ass women. I'm like, this woman here can't rub two nickels together. She's a pill popper. She has a daughter. She's fucking every motherfucker that's male. Yeah. And I'm like, you worrying about this, bro? So then he goes back over there 6 months later. And he's like, yeah, I saw her at the club. I said hello to her. I'm like, oh my God, man. It's like, that's why I don't like giving advice. I mean, if somebody comes at me with their advice, I just be like, hey, man, don't ask me about that. Handle it yourself. You know your situation better than me. Handle it yourself.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? The problem with a lot of brothers, black men, it's like you don't really have respect for yourself. Therefore, it's like you allow everybody to disrespect you. You know what I'm saying? Yes is what you say when you want to be liked, but no is what you say when you want to be respected. You have the option to say no to these hoes over here. I don't give a damn if I got 5 kids. If I'm at the point where my wife is disrespecting me, hell, I'll leave her and all them 5 kids. I'll be a father to my 5 kids. I'm not going to be like old boy who's over there in Florida with no fucking car at 48 years old and got an 18-year-old in the Philippines, like a sack. You know what I'm saying?
That was hilarious. But one thing I didn't understand, I'm like, why you have your daughter over there and he said she wants to be with him in Tampa. So I'm like, why are you? I would never do anything like that. I would find a way to get my daughter over here. I don't care how much I had to pay, for the visa or whatever. I don't care. That's just me though,
Just ruining lives. You know what I'm saying? It's like nobody's looking at your daughter as Filipino, as a biracial kid. They're black. Most of them are like dark skinned when they're born anyway, so she just looks like a regular black girl. I mean, I'm pretty sure she doesn't know good English. You probably didn't get her an American passport. It's like, what's the point of you? What's the point of you being alive?
Even having it? Yeah, exactly. So
I'm not wishing
I just
death
don't.
on him, but
Yeah, but I just didn't. I don't understand that either. When I, 'cause, yeah, I was laughing. I was laughing because of what you were saying. I wasn't laughing at him, but that's when I was like, hey, that's when I started asking him questions. Hey, where you live? How old's your daughter? And he said he wants to move back to PI. I said, why? Why not have her move to Tampa or move to Charlotte or move somewhere else, Seattle, Charlotte, or someplace like that where it'll be. And he didn't even understand where I was coming from when I was saying that, because he said he wanted to move to someplace else, and I said, I don't think that's a good spot for your daughter, brother. He didn't even understand where I was coming from with that.
yeah.
He started thinking like he was thinking about himself basically.
Yeah, and that, and
But
that and that's exactly what I was talking about earlier. Just a weirdo, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what type of environment he was raised in, but
yeah,
look, man, and that's the thing, a lot of people that are weird and too eccentric and lame, they really don't know how lame they are. They think like,
oh,
you
they think
know,
they're great.
exactly. They think everything that comes
Yeah,
out of their mouth is just normal. Like, nah, he said, nah, I don't want to get a vehicle because
they're
you know,
great.
this is Tampa. I hate Tampa. Yeah, I ain't getting no vehicle out here. My family members just gonna use it and run it into the wall and crash it. I'm like, okay, don't let your
And
family
that's
members
a
use it.
and that's another thing that was kind of weird. I'm like, just because you don't like a town, that doesn't mean you can't get a car. I mean, I didn't understand that. That was kind of weird too, you know.
I don't want to
But
make this whole thing about him, but it's like people like him. I just don't know why people come to Asia or even stay where they at and have children.
and one of the main reasons why a lot of these people think the way they think, because people told them they were great all their lives. They're like, "You're great, you're awesome." I'm like, "What? She's horrible." It's people. I don't know. Maybe their parents told them they were great. Their friends, their peers, whoever they hang around, they tell them that because they don't want them to feel bad. They don't want to hurt their feelings, but they're really doing a disservice.
I mean, I've kind of seen the opposite though. Like
I
people
have too,
people
but
people like him, like people have told him how much of a fucking idiot he was his whole life, and it never got through to him. And in his mind, he think, okay, everybody doesn't like me. People are just angry. I hate this world. People are just savages. You know what? I want to go to Asia where I could be myself, where I could be weird. Because he was trying to buy a first class ticket to the Philippines. I'm like, how do you have enough money to go to the Philippines, trick off, and get a woman pregnant, but you ain't got enough money for a car to,
yeah,
take care of yourself.
yeah,
You don't have enough money to
yeah,
take care of your daughter.
yeah. I just, I just can't. I just couldn't imagine doing anything like that.
I mean, that's sad. I wish like there could be a system, and I don't know, man, like a system where like child protective services could just be like, hey, man, you a fucking idiot, but your daughter, even though she came from you and you an American, she doesn't need to be over there because she's asking to go to America. Obviously, either somebody's picking on her, bullying her, life isn't great over there. And I've been to the Philippines. It's bombed out and depleted. Everything is backwards over there. In Manila,
Yeah, I heard about it. Manila, big city, right?
big city, but I mean, it looks like pure struggle over there. Like there's no
Yeah.
culture. There's no temples and uh,
No.
like Buddha statues and museums
No.
and stuff like. Man, it's nothing but churches.
Yeah, I
Christian
heard a lot of that.
churches. Yeah,
Yep, I heard about it.
they
Just a
have
bunch of churches.
they have no signature food over there. All the food is pure garbage over there. In the Philippines, and those are some of the biggest white worshipers over there.
Oh yeah, yeah, I heard about it. Yeah, you
Shit,
know.
It's worse over there than over here.
Yeah, I heard, man. They said, because I was telling somebody, the guys I was talking to, they've been we've been to Thailand together,
Mm.
and they said they've been to the Philippines, but I haven't. And they said, hey, it's if you think it's gutter over here, you need to go to PI. He said it's like 10 times worse. I said, oh my goodness. I said, really? He said, yeah. They some of those vets, they live in PI. They live in like man, they live in lavish over there.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
because they can afford it, They retired. They get their money every month along with their extra money, you know. So they pull in a good 5,000 a month. So they live lavish, man.
yeah.
But they can't live like that in America. That's why they say, "Oh, I can come back over here." Oh no. The one dude said, if he come back to America, I think if he go back, he's from New York City. He said if he go back to New York City, you have to get a job. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So,
That's not a good place to be if you want to retire in New York City, man. It's like
oh my goodness, you gotta be rich, bro.
you gonna have to work. You're gonna be working for the rest of your life, even with a
Work,
good
you be
pension.
working. Yeah, you're gonna be working for rent, basically. You're gonna have a bunch of roommates. You're gonna be working for rent. Then it's a bunch of scam artists up there. Everybody I met past 10 years in New York running some type of scam. It seems like, or they trying to hustle you or fast talk you, and it's just not my type of place.
Yeah,
You know,
that's not a place to fuck around at. That's really not
no,
a place to fuck around at.
no,
At least in the South, like, I mean, we've all met, black folks with money down
yeah,
south, living good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't
yeah,
know why people too scared to come down south. I don't
because it's too
understand it.
slow for them. It's too slow. They can't run no schemes.
Hell,
They
you need
can't
to
get they can't get away with it. That's
hell,
the point.
hell, you need to slow down and get some of this money. You know what I'm saying? You're moving too fast for this money. The money trying to catch up, and you moving too
Yeah.
fast. You
But that's the
know,
thing. They haven't figured it out. See that when they come down here, they'll stay 2 to 5 years, and they end up going back to New York. 'Cause they can't. They say they'll first thing they'll say is it's too slow. What that means is the shit that they used to do up there, it ain't working down here. So,
yeah,
and some of them get caught up in the same schemes or similar schemes they did up there. They get locked up, go to jail, and they get out, and they be like, "Man, I'll just go back to New York, man."
ah, damn,
And the women, same thing. They run game on the guys up north. They've been doing that for 30, 40, 50 years. And they'll go to some place like Atlanta or Miami or something like that, or Charlotte, and they'd be like, man, these guys ain't really feeling me like that. Of course they're not.
yeah,
Because they see through you. They see who you really are.
all right. And the women up there are pretty goddamn. They aggressive up there. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? It's just too much aggression for me. Like, I like a nice Southern belle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, there's aggressive women down south, but I mean, there's a
Not
good
like up there, though.
right.
It's a
There's a
different type of
balance.
aggression.
There's a
Yeah, it's a
balance.
balance. Yeah,
You know.
different type of aggression up there, boy. And a lot of them come here. I met a lot of women from New York City. They live here. Very
Right.
aggressive.
Yeah.
It's like they're like in your space type of aggressive.
They be talking like a man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yo, son, what up, Dunn? What up, Dunn? Like, you stepping on my sneakers, Dunn? Like, yo, what?
yeah, yeah. It's very aggressive.
You
But
start
see,
turning
that's
to
the
the
thing.
woman.
Yeah, yeah. It's like but there's always some agenda they have in most cases, though. They have some it's some method to their madness. That's the thing that I don't like, you know. But hey, man, more power to them.
Right, right. All right, so man, so I made a video earlier today. I was talking about insecurities, how insecurities are ruining relationships, and I gave an example on how like sometimes like like you said earlier, if a woman wants to leave, it should be okay with you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
out here, a lot of people don't know in Thailand and other Asian countries as well, but in Thailand for sure are some of the most clingiest men on the planet. A lot of these stories I've heard, like there's a guy that I know out here. He's Thai, his girl is Thai, and from sun up to sundown, he has an earpiece and he's on the phone with his girlfriend. Like for hours, they might not be talking. They could just hear each other breathing, but it's like the agreement in their relationship is they have to be connected at all times because they have to know like what each other is doing, what each other is saying. Like you got to make sure that you're not cheating. And
That's too much.
I'll see him, and he has that earpiece in his ear. I'm like, "You talking to your girl, ain't you?" He's like, "Yeah."
That's too much.
He'll be sitting there for hours, and he'll have that earpiece in his ear. Him and his girl ain't said nothing, but they're just on the phone with each other.
That's too much time. So what does he do and what does she do to have so much time to be on the phone like that?
I think she works at a bank or something, or
Okay.
I forgot. I know she works. He's a student, but
Okay, that's too much time.
his family got money. And I asked him. I said, "Hey, what happens when your phone dies?" He goes, "Well, I have a power bank. I just hook my phone up to the power bank." I'm like,
So what's the idea of being on the phone a lot? Just to stay connected because of I don't know. What's the idea?
just to stay
Behind it.
connected and make sure each other isn't cheating, and that's like normal for these women to go
So
through this shit.
so what happens if she does cheat?
I mean, a woman is gonna cheat regardless, even if
Yeah.
she's doing some shit like that. She'll put that phone on mute,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I just want to know the mind. I just want to know the mindset of the guys. That's all. That's why I asked that.
I have no idea because out here a lot of these women um, they getting fucked 6 ways till Sunday, by foreigners. They could easily dip off with a foreigner.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I guess that's why they're doing that. And I've talked to other women, and they're like, yeah, with Thai men, they're very clingy. It's like you can't even go to the bathroom without them standing right there in front of the bathroom, making sure
Yeah,
you're
I've seen
not
that.
doing anything.
Yeah, I've seen that over there when I was over there. I've seen that.
Right. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
I'm not.
go ahead.
I'm not. I'm not. I would never go through all that. I don't got time for all that, man. I'm not doing all that.
That's too much energy.
Exactly. I'll be tired, man. Burned out.
3 hours into the day and you tired as fuck, because you worried about how do you get sleep? Like I know a man ain't sleeping because like, and that's why I gave that example. Like, when I was in this long-term relationship with my girl, we both had a house together, and women, they do things to test you out, to
Yep.
test your insecurities. To see what type of
Yep.
man you are. And when you say like, hey, I don't give a fuck if you are in my life or if you're going tonight, like I'm gonna be all right. So, oh girl, like, I for those that don't know, that's listening out there, I like women with them big titties. She gotta have double D's, you know what I'm saying? I got to have, them titties on deck, So my girl, she had like double D's, like huge, and
That's huge, man.
so she was like, hey, I wanted to go to the club tonight with my homegirl. Is that okay? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, which club you going to? She goes, I'm going to that. I'm like, oh man, it's Saturday night. I know it's popping tonight. They play some good music tonight. On, at this time of night. That's a good club to go to. You made a good choice. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah, have a good time. She could not believe that I was going to let her go to the club. So, late at night, I'm on the computer. She's like, okay, I'm ready. How do I look? This chick, she came through with, with a low cut revealing dress, with her titties out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All I said was like, hey man, you look good. Shit. You look fly, have a good time, She was like, you'll be all right? You sure? Yeah. I said, yeah, don't worry. I got the snacks. Back then I was drinking. I got the drink. I got my 1800. I'm straight. She was like, okay. So she was like, all right, I'm about to leave in a little. I'm like, okay. I'm about to leave in a little. I'm like, okay. I'm like, damn, would you leave already? Shit. Like, just go out, have a good time.
Yeah, man. I don't see it. Then I don't see I just never. I don't see things a lot of way that the average guy see it. I think that's where she was coming from.
Right. Then when she get to the club, she calling me in the club while the song blasting, the music blaring behind her, and she calling me. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, man, don't call me. Like, it's too loud. So I hang up the phone. She called me back like 5 minutes later. She outside. I could still hear the music. She was like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, what do you want? Yeah. She was like, oh, I just wanted to make sure everything was okay. I'm like, I'm a big boy. I don't need you to check up on me. What the fuck? I'm like, take care. Have a good night. Man, this chick came home early.
She was insecure.
Yeah, this chick came home early. I'm like, it's
why?
I'm like, damn, what the fuck? It's 1:00. What you doing back home? She's like, oh, I wasn't having a good time anyways. The club was lame. I know that club was lame. I know that club was lame. Hell, I used to pull a lot of hoes at that club. I know that club was lame.
Okay.
She just couldn't believe that I didn't give a damn.
Yeah. I met a lot of women that thought the same thing of me. I just don't believe that. I don't see the need for a guy to be clingy and jealous and insecure. I just don't see it.
I mean, for what? Like, okay, you lose, old girl. Okay, it might take you a long time to find another one. It might take you a month. It might take you a year. It might take you 5 years. Does it really matter? Do you really want what's out here in the streets? Do you really want to rush to be what's out here in the streets?
Nope. I always look at it like this. All I can do is all I can do. And if I do my best with the people that's around me, and if they gotta go, hey man, if they leave, I don't have any regrets because I did the best I could.
Exactly.
So that's how I look at it.
But
if they gotta go, I hope they find what they're looking for out there. Which 9 times out of 10 they're not. They don't know that though.
Yeah. Some guys, like, especially in Canada, this goes out to all the Canadians out there. Some guys over there, they try to mask up confidence really by they try to mask up their confidence. They try to act like they're confident when really they're not. They just doing that shit. They're just letting their girl do whatever because it makes her happy, and then they get to keep her. That's it. Like, I know this one guy. Yeah. He was on the oil rigs, right? And this man ain't never had a girl in his life. Now I was hanging around them because I knew both of them. I was hanging around them, and this chick was mad disrespectful towards him. Just talking crazy, punching him, calling him all types of names and shit. I'm like, God damn.
Him? What the hell?
Yeah. He was so glad to like have a white girl that it's like, oh, okay. I'm like, damn, like you making all this money. He was an EMT on the oil rigs, making $750 a day. Like, you making all this money. And here you just hanging on to this chick, this white girl. I mean, the chick ain't even have no driver's license, no car, nothing. And
Wow.
so I remember I had to stop by over there because he wanted to sell a laptop to me, but he wasn't there. His girl was there, and I get over there and two dudes leave the house. I'm like, God damn.
Damn, she got two of them. Shit.
Yeah, she had two dudes.
One ain't enough.
No, she had two other dudes leave the house. He's on the rigs and two guys leave the house. I'm like, God damn. And I'm like, okay, I didn't say nothing. But I'm like, it's just sometimes people act like they too confident when really you letting your woman run amok just because you don't want to lose her.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just that's the lack mentality that a lot of people have, a lot of guys have.
Yeah. All right, so who do you think are who's more insecure? And I think this is. I already have my answer
man.
for it. It's kind of tough, but black men or black women, who's more insecure with themselves? Who has the lowest self-esteem out of the two?
Man, I don't know. I never really thought about it like that. I never asked. I never thought about that before. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know, man. Like at first I thought it was black women because they show up looking like Homie the Clown every single day. With it'd be like a real dark skinned woman with a platinum blonde wig on, with blue contacts, wearing somebody else's hair on their head. Obviously, you can see the insecurities because they're talking crazy. They're trying to find themselves by messing around with men that they're not really supposed to. It's like black people in general, we have a bad habit of, taking pride in ignorance. You know what I'm saying? And you see a lot of women doing that. But, now that I've traveled, I'm like, I've seen a lot of black men that have low self-esteem in the women they get with. I'm like, homie, like you 30 years old and you with this woman that's 50? In Japan, like.
Well, in Japan, that's you're gonna always see. That's all. I'm not like surprised to see that dynamic play out in Japan. Because the pickings is slim. It's just usually, if it's not too many. Say if I go over there and I'm looking for a black woman in Japan, for example, the pickings is slim. So it's like you might have an age dynamic, an age gap between each other, And sometime if you really want to be with a black woman in Japan, you might have to sacrifice the age or sacrifice certain things or whatever. So, or it could be go in reverse. It could be, hey, I'm a young guy. I'm 20 and coming to Japan and I meet this older Japanese woman. It's a lot of different things that could play out. But, that probably would never, you don't see that very much here in America. That age gap, like I'm 25 and she's 50. You're not going to see that a lot. You're not going to see it a lot. You might, now they might fool around, have sex, but she ain't going to take you home to mama and dad. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen. It's like, she going to be looking like, yeah. They're going to be looking at me funny style, like I'm robbing the cradle if I take you home during the holidays. So, the environment is kind of influence people to do certain things, Because, see, if I'm in Japan, my parents, they're not over there. If I'm in Japan for like years, like I know some guys are in Korea, Japan, these other countries, and I meet a girl over there, the chances of you meeting my parents is slim to none.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they don't really meet the other people's parents back here in America until after they get married, in most cases.
Yeah.
So, it's just a lot of things that come into play, man.
But I'm like, I
It's,
mean, the way I see men, like their dating practices, and and especially out here in Thailand, it's like, I talked about Pattaya earlier over there. You got all these women talking. I remember one guy, he introduced me to some girl, and she spit in her hand before she held it out to shake my hand, and I went off.
huh?
Yeah, I went off.
That,
I went off on him first.
uh-huh.
Then I went off on her because I don't even like going over there in the first place. I just went over there because, he was over there, and I was like, all right, I'll kick it over there for a day. But these are the type of women they're hanging around, and these women, they can't rub two nickels together. They're living in a shack, and these women are talking crazy to men, doing crazy shit like that, calling brothers the N word over there, allowing those women over there to use the N word, and it's they're fucking everybody in the club, and it's like some of these guys are actually proposing to some of these women. They're actually having kids with some of these women over there. They're actually marrying some of these women there, and I'm like,
Yeah.
is the game that slow to where you have to pick a hateful bitch like that?
I don't know, man. Hey, some people got low self-esteem, I guess, man. I don't know. I mean, you shouldn't be taking anybody serious that you meet in the club anyway. So, I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't go to the club, but I wouldn't put too much stock in anybody I met at the club. That's just the club. Look, the club is full of drunks, alcoholics, drug addicts, prostitutes, escorts. It's pretty much a cesspool. It's always been like that.
A
It was
cesspool
like
of
that
debauchery.
exactly, and that's why they call it the club. The nightclub. That's what it's always been like that. So I don't know why you know anybody would take a woman serious that they meet in the club. I mean, unless you got to know her well, and over time she's been proven to be someone else that you didn't think. Okay, that happens. It doesn't happen a lot, but it happens. But I mean, I just don't understand why anybody would, take majority of people in the club serious. I don't understand really.
Man, I mean, even if you didn't meet up in the club, it's like women can smell insecurities on you. They
Yep.
like, and that's the thing. Women, when they dealt with so many personalities in their life that you are just another guy that she's met over and over and over again. So it's like
Yeah.
trying to hide your insecurities with whatever woman you're trying to talk to. It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's
Especially
go ahead.
especially an older woman, like a
Right.
woman that's like 40s, 50s. I had a lot of younger guys be saying, "Yeah, I ran game on this older woman, man." I said, "How old was she?" She was 42. I said, "You ain't run no game on her." I mean, damn near every guy that you ever probably thought about. She just went
She's
along with
letting
whatever you
you.
wanted to do.
She's
She just
letting you
allowed you
run
to do
game.
whatever. He just allowed you to do whatever she wanted you to do. That's it. But you ain't ran no game on her.
Right. I'm like, did she give you money? No. Okay. Well, you didn't run no game on her.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, the shit. Like the shit. Women can smell an
Smell the
insecure dude.
blood.
Yeah.
Smell the blood. Yep.
Yeah, man. Like if you have social anxiety, I don't give a damn how many drinks you done had, how many courage juices you done chug down. She's still gonna see it like, wow, this motherfucker, something's off about him.
Yeah.
Either I'm gonna run game on him, or I'm just not gonna fuck with him. It's either or. Like,
Yeah.
don't nobody want to be around with an insecure, low self esteem person. I've been with low self esteem women that were fine as hell. It was very annoying to be around
It's a
them.
lot of it's a lot of 'em, man. I hear the women. You know, the funny thing is some of the most attractive women that I've met very insecure,
Absolutely.
very insecure. You know, and like when you leave the states, North America, South America, and go to these other countries, you have to be very strong, very confident, because there's a lot of women out here in these other countries. They've been raised very differently. So a lot of things that um we do and how we function, they might look at it as weakness. So sometimes you have to be very firm in what you say. You have to stand on it. You know, and because if not, um, a lot of times these women will take advantage of you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This place ain't for the weak. Like, I mean,
No, it's not. No,
if
it's not.
like first of all, I'm not here to tell nobody what they should or shouldn't do. I think like even if you are an advanced player, man, you shouldn't be having children with a woman outside of your home country. Bottom line, because it's just two different.
It
It's just two different cultures. Like
is.
even Canada, like a lot of people think, oh, Canadians, it's like right here, they know the same. All right, you fuck around because
No,
Canadian women,
Canada.
they have those women, they put a lot of American dudes under a spell. Like
Yeah.
the way she gets you hooked in the beginning, that's something no man has ever dealt with before in America. But then once you're locked in with this woman, you find out how much of a fucking idiot this broad is and how normal, other people think her stupidity is because everybody else thinks the same way. And to you it's stupid, but to them it's normal. And then now it's
Yeah.
like you're married, you got a house together, you got kids with each other. You know what I'm saying? It's like you shouldn't
Yeah.
put yourself in a position where because you don't want to run from your problems, you don't want to leave your kids behind like oh
Oh
boy.
no.
You want to
No.
stay there and
Yeah.
deal with your problems, but it's in your best interest to have if you ever do have kids, if you decide to have kids, make sure it's with a woman you're connected with in your home country. Now, a lot of people
Yeah.
listening, they'll be like, "Oh hell no!"
Yeah.
American bitches ain't shit. And 9 times out of 10, a man saying that has never traveled around America. You
Yeah. He
never,
just assumes.
you
You
never
know.
been outside Beaumont, Texas. You never been outside, Montgomery, Alabama.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I never thought about it until you said that.
Oh,
But I
oh boy,
agree.
on your live said he was living out there in Dallas, Georgia.
Yeah. Yeah. He's living with a white woman though. He in Cobb County. That's how
He,
when he said he was in Cobb County, I already knew he was staying with a white woman. Because
no,
it's
he,
no,
he's living with the
it's
Klan. That's what he's doing.
well, basically, yeah,
He living with the Klan.
yeah. It's not a lot of black people out there. Out there, it's not safe for black people to live out there where he live
Yo,
at.
what's he doing out there? I know he ain't walking during the day. He probably like, hey,
I don't
babe,
know.
I want to
I
go to
don't
the store, but I'll let you
know.
drive and I'll just hide in the trunk. Put me in the trunk.
Yeah, yeah. I've met people that were actually afraid to move to Cobb County when I first moved here. I'm new in my first year. I don't know what it is. So one guy, I said, hey, I think I went to a bar over there, just off of the interstate. And I said, hey man, you live around here? He's like, oh no, I don't live around here. He said, he asked me where I lived at. I said, I stay off of 85 in Gwinnett County. And he said, oh, you stay all the way over there. I said, yeah. So I said, hey, why you don't? I asked him why did he respond the way he did. He said because you don't never know when things could pop off over here. I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, this is just not the place for us to live. I said, oh, okay, gotcha. you know,
Yeah.
but I've been here for in this area for 6 years, so I really understand what he was talking about now. Cause you if you stay here long enough, you start meeting people and you live and you learn. And there's some counties around here I stay away from. Cobb County, Spalding, Fayette County. Those places like uh, off limits. you know.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
man. Like a lot of guys, they'll be born and raised in Dallas, Georgia. At first, I was like, "That you mean Dallas,
I don't.
Texas, right?" He was like, "No,
I,
Dallas, Georgia." I'm like, "There's a Dallas, Georgia."
I don't even know. I don't even know how to get there. I've never heard of it. So,
Yeah, you
but
got
he told me it's in. He said it's in Cobb County. So I said, oh, I know Cobb County yet, but don't know what Dallas is. That's
I,
way out
I,
there.
I know how to get there. You got to drive through the sunken place to get there. That's how you get there.
yeah, man.
But
So
there be people like him. There could be somebody like him born and raised there, and he'll judge all American women based on what he met. That he's been around his whole life and he's never traveled. I'm like, bro, you got to get out. Like
yeah,
you think me going to San Antonio? Like first of all, I'm from San Antonio. San Antonio had cooperative women already growing up because even
yeah,
though it's like it's a big city, like I mean, there's like over 2 million people there. It didn't have the same. People treated it like a small town. It's a big city, but a small town mentality. So it wasn't
yeah,
like the Houstons or the New York cities or the LAs. It was like a small town. So hooking
yeah,
up with women over there was nothing. It wasn't shit. And there was interracial relationships going on over there, and nobody cared. And I messed around black women, white women, Hispanic women, all types of women over there in San Antonio. And then you go to Austin, and at that time, Austin was kind
I,
of the
I,
same way.
yeah. Back then, Austin was like a little town back then, right?
Yeah, now it's turned out, but
Yeah,
back then, nah, Austin was a cool place to find you a little chick and
yeah,
travel over there on the weekends and smash and do all sorts of freaky shit over there in Austin on the weekends. But like I didn't limit myself to just San Antonio. Even if San Antonio wasn't like that, I was like, hey, let's see what's out over here in San Marcos. Hey, let's see what's over here in Austin. I've been everywhere in Texas: San Angelo, El Paso, Kingsville, Corpus Christi. I mean, I've been everywhere. So I didn't just be like, hey, these women here are pissing me off. Hell, you know what? It ain't just them. It's American women. They're no different anywhere else. I was like, no,
no,
they're going to be different somewhere else. People do things
yeah,
differently everywhere.
yeah. It's all the pros and cons of uh have having kids and getting married in other countries versus America. It's like I think that can be very difficult. It's like saying if you have kids, even living in a big city versus living in a small town, there's a lot of pros and cons in that too. You
Yeah.
know, I give you an example. Let's say you're from where I'm from, the Myrtle Beach area, right?
Okay.
And most of my family, they're from the Myrtle Beach, Georgetown area, all of them, right? So, but I'm like, let's say I stay here in Atlanta for the rest of my life, which I'm not, but let's just assume, right? And I have kids here, and all my kids know is here. They don't really know what's going on back home, you know. So, I'm not. Let's say I'm not married. I have kids here, so if my kids are here, they don't really have any connection to where I'm from because they haven't really been around where I'm from very much. Now, even though there's a house back home, family house back home, right? So it's there, and I have sisters and brothers in there, but my kids don't know anything about there. So that's like one of a to me that's a kind of a disadvantage because there's no real connection there. They just been there a couple times. Yeah, they met my sisters and brothers or whatever, but it's really nothing there, you know. But if we move there, or if we spend a lot of time there, where I'm from, yeah, they would be able to build a connection with people. They'd meet cousins. They'd meet. They'd be able to spend time with my sisters and brothers. You know, they'd be able to meet their first, second, third cousins or whatever. They'll be able to meet people that live in the area. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But but if you're in a big city or if you're overseas, that's probably not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's
I
kind of like,
think some people, man, like, because I wish I was closer with my family, but my mother and father, I think they were the lames in our family on both sides of the family. You know, they was just, there was both, every family, because, back then, black folks, they had big families. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, my grandmother, she's one out of 11. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
yeah, your friends
there's
think like mine. Yeah,
yeah. Boy, I just think my mother and my father, they was just the lames in the family. And, nobody really fucked with
yeah,
them like that. So it's like, they was like, all right, shit, we don't fuck with y'all neither. So, we just ended up in Texas, but all our family was like in California and in New York. But I
okay,
mean, I'm not mad for being down there, but I just felt like, like it'd have been better if we were closer to family at least.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, because to me, family is important to me. I mean, to some people, they don't see it like that. And they see it like, okay, if we get married and we have our own kids and we good, we straight. I'm like, no, no,
Right.
no, 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 no. I said, I don't believe in that shit. Just cutting the leg, pulling. That's like pulling the rug out underneath somebody. Once, once I married to this person, I don't give a damn about the person's mom or the dad or whatever. That's kind of crazy. You know, even the rich and wealthy people don't think like that. Only the working class people think like that. It's just a backwards way of thinking.
I'm kind of in the middle, like
In what way?
the way is I think in general in a perfect world black people should learn to get along. I mean, there's gonna be ups and downs in your family, but should always learn to get along and come together because we all need each other. But at
Yeah,
the same time, I'm like, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, sometimes when you got to cut family off, you got to know when to cut somebody off and not keep somebody around just because they family. But at the same time, a lot of black people that run away from America and move to Asia seeking love, looking for love, and not just enjoying their time traveling. They come out here and it's like you want to assimilate in somebody else's family. Here they
yeah,
got their mother and father. You have kids, their mother and father's living with y'all. They're babysitting the kids. It's like they have
yeah.
a system, even though, they think their daughter ain't shit. But it's like, all right, the baby's here. Let's do what we gotta do as not even just
Parents.
parents,
Yeah,
just as Chinese or Japanese, as Thais. This is what we do. You
I
dig?
guess. I don't know.
So,
Yeah.
like a lot of black folks, it's like you come over here and you have a wedding and you meeting their family and their family's babysitting your kids, but it's like, damn, where's your family? Do you not care about your family? Do you
Yeah,
not
that's what I'm
care about?
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll give you an example. One of my boys, he lives in Japan. He got three kids.
Yeah.
The oldest is, 21. The next is 19, and the youngest is 14, right?
Mm-hmm.
His kids ain't never seen his mom,
Mm.
ever. because his mom live in Greenville, North Carolina. His parent kids ain't never seen his mom. You know, so it's like if something was to happen to him in Japan, what what's gonna happen? I mean,
Right.
they'll just bury him, but the kids have no connection to the grandparents, and his dad passed away a long time ago. So it's like there's nothing really there. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's one of the that's one kind of, I'm not gonna say it's a bad thing. It's not. That's one of the pros and cons of being having kids overseas. It's like there's no it's no real true close connection to the parents that's in America. It's not all the time, but the majority of the time it's not. There's no real relationship there.
Right. And when I
You know?
talk to a lot of people, a lot of black folks that I talk to over here, I always ask people about their family. Like, okay, how's your folks doing? And most of the time, there's no father. And I'm like, okay, that's sad to hear. Either there's no father, or they just be like, man, I don't give a fuck about my
I
family.
mean, the father, what? He never was there, or he passed away, or what?
That he wasn't there. Either I hear that
Oh,
there was
okay.
no father in the house, or they don't care about their family. They just kind of leaving. They say
Oh,
very
they don't
little
care.
about their family. I'm like, okay. I mean,
Well, if they don't care, they just don't care. Okay. Yeah.
but what I'm saying is, it's like, but you know, people carry a chip on their shoulder when they come out here, and then they have kids. So it's like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
I mean, if you have issues, family issues, um, it's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. You got to take care of that baggage before you create anything successful, or otherwise it's just gonna crash and burn every time. That's just what it is.
right, right,
Unfortunately, it takes some people a long time to learn that, and by that time they're old. Mostly, I know a woman right now. She's bipolar, you know, and she's a very attractive girl, but she's bipolar, crazy as cat shit. But she got daddy issues. I don't know what happened, but you can just tell it has issues with guys. It really, you know, it really bothers her. She have identity issues. She don't know who she want to be. So every guy she meet, it's all a game. It's all a trick. Just trick them. Just tell them what you want to hear long enough until she get exposed, and then it's over.
mm,
So it's just like I'm talking to every guy she meets. It's all about just trick them. She'll have a good time. They'll go out, go to a restaurant, and then after a couple of weeks, he'll catch her in a lie, and it's over. You know.
yeah, yeah. I don't like some folks, man. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. There's some folks, like, I know you can't really pick and choose your family, but especially with the dudes, if you didn't grow up with a father, I can't. A lot of guys, like, I can't kick it with them if they didn't grow up with no father, because especially black men, like, a lot of motherfuckers just act too emotional, and even if they did grow up with their father, some of them just act too emotional and just. I'm like, oh, cool it. Just chill out, relax, we kicking it or whatever, But a lot of cats like that didn't have that father figure there. There's a lot of coon talk in some of the conversations that you have with them. It's like, damn, why are
Yeah.
you still hurt? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. That depends on who. That depends on who raised you. I mean, who raised you? Did your dad raise you, your mom, or the streets raised you, or your grandparents? That really depends on who raised you, your upbringing. That's what they. That's what that cowardness comes from, basically. I've met a lot of women like that. Now, at the same time, I don't expect women to lead the revolution. I don't expect women to be on the front lines and talk all tough and any of that stuff. No, I don't expect that at all. But at the same time, don't be a coward. Don't try to justify why this guy got mistreated. Don't do that. Don't stab me in the back. Don't embarrass me. Don't you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying a woman should be like a headhunter, anything like that. But just don't. I'm not. I'm not saying that. You're supposed to be a hard charger, a headhunter, or anything like that. But I mean that cowardness. That I can't trust a woman that's a coward like that. I just can't. I mean, that will instantly turn me off. It's a lot. You're gonna meet a lot of that in Japan, and a lot of these other countries. A lot of women, a lot of Asian women, they're like that, big time cowards. Oh my God, I think they might
Yeah.
be the biggest cowards.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Like some of these women out here, they'll start off like, especially in Thailand, like, I can understand. I guess it's kind of for safety or whatever, but still, it's like you worried about the opinions of people that can't do shit for you, ain't rubbing two nickels together, like
Oh yeah.
because like women, they'll roll with you. You're with an attractive young woman. She's educated, and the streets are just in her ear. Like, why black? Why black? Why you with him? Why you with him? What? I remember one time I'm walking with my chick, and this security guard at this in front of this motherfucking condo, just randomly, said to her like it was in his language, but he said to her like, "Damn, why you with black? Like, what's wrong with me? Am I not handsome? Are any of these other Thai guys out here, are they not handsome? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with us?" And it's like,
He only did that. He only did that because the guy was black. If
exactly,
if it was a white guy, he would have never said that.
the one that said shit, So
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
all right,
He
it's
would
like
have
you
never
you
said that.
feel hurt, you feel hurt, but
Double.
it's like,
It's a double standard.
yeah,
You know, that's you're gonna into that with a lot in Asia. That's like in all the countries I've ever been to. It's the same. It's the same thing. You're gonna run into that at some point if you stay around them long enough. You know, especially dealing when it comes to us. I mean, I think we're the most hated motherfuckers on the planet.
shit, hell yeah, we are,
The hate
we
is
are.
real out here. So, it's no way of getting around it. Now, if you have money and status, you get treated, of course, you get treated a little bit better. Of course, you get treated a little better if people know who you are and known you for a long time, known you for a couple of years. Of course, you get treated better. But there's no way to get around that. You are who you are. You can't, well, you can go bleach your skin all you want if you're crazy, but
Oh,
and
Sammy Sosa,
that still ain't gonna work anyway. It
yeah,
still didn't work for Sammy Sosa.
yeah,
But the funny thing is I've talked to a lot of white guys that have went to Japan, China, India, Korea, and I always meet these guys. Hey, a lot of them here in Atlanta. They'll bring the girl back over here and get married or whatever. But I asked them, hey, why'd you come to Japan, or why'd you go over there? I mean, where were you? What was your mindset at the time? And I get a lot of different answers, man. which I find to be interesting. A lot of them say, "Hey, well, I'm just always curious about going over there." So they might took a job to teach English. Some of them say that. Some will say, I met my girl online, at some dating site, and So I said, "Hey, how was your experience going to Japan for the first time?" And they say, one guy, this is his exact words. He's like, "Man, that thing it didn't go that well." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Man, the parents treated me very badly." I said, "Really?" I said, what?" I didn't ask him what was said. That's a long list. But he was saying that um, his parents kind of rejected him, didn't approve of them wanting to get married. So I said, "Hey, man, join the club." See, a lot of like white guys, I don't think a lot of them know until a lot of them don't travel outside of America as much as you think, So they think when they go to these other countries, they're going to get treated the same. But I said, "No, you're not. No. Even if they go to Europe." I said, "No, buddy, it's not the same, bro. In these other countries, you get treated accordingly based on who you are. You don't have them. You're not gonna get the same treatment as you do here in America." I said, "If that's what you're looking for, you better stay here, buddy."
Yeah, they don't. A lot of guys out here, they don't have it made as what a lot of people think it is. Especially, when you come to Thailand, it's all smoke and mirrors. Like you'll see, sure, you'll see a lot of white guys with fine women out here, and some guys they make the excuse and say, "Well, that's just a prostitute. I mean, anybody can get that. I can get a fine woman like that." I'm like, but you don't know this situation. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you don't know anybody's situation. All you see is this white dude, whether he's young or old, he's with this fine Thai woman that you don't normally see brothers with out here.
You don't know what type of relationship they have. They might, a lot of times, a lot of people don't know this, but they might have a kink relationship. Might be her sub, some shit like that.
I mean, like whatever their relationship is, like me personally, like I don't really give a shit about what type of relationship they have because like people look at it and think, "Oh, okay, damn, that's what I want." And I'm like, dude, like marriage and kids ain't a goal of mine. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it should be a gift, not a goal. People come over here and make that their goal. So if this white dude has a baby with old girl over here and they have a family, then shit, more power to them. But at the same time, I know for sure, one thing for sure is if a white guy gets into a relationship out here, he cannot break up with her and get with another woman out here the normal way like he would in America. It's just not happening. It's not happening. He has to come up with a whole lie, a whole scheme just to get out of it because these women, it's really death to us part with a lot of these women out here.
Well, they take that thing serious, boy.
Man, I know one guy. He's not even white. He's black, but he's albino. And
albino.
He moved to a town outside of Bangkok and started teaching English. So he was talking about how all these kids, like all the kids at the high school, would tell him how handsome he was, taking pictures of him with their phones, drawing pictures of him, writing him love letters. Some of the staff was hitting on him too. And he was like, whoa, like this is kind of overwhelming. So he gets with one woman, and now the ex is like back in her life. And he's like, nah, fuck that. I want to get my woman back. She's with this white dude. Fuck that. So then he's like, oh, okay. he tells me like, damn, I got to get up out of here. I'm like, why is that? He goes, somehow he got my number and he sent me a picture of him with a pistol. And he's looking for me. He's looking to see where I live at or whatever. So he left Thailand and went back to America. He was only out here for about 4 or 5 months.
Jeez. Jeez. Well,
so this wasn't even somebody who was really white. It was just the whole town thought he was white. He was just a really, really light-skinned black dude. And he used to tell me, like, man, when I ride around the city, like, a lot of the men, like, they mean mug me. They stare at me with anger, like, as if
they trying to figure out what type of guy he is.
they think he's white, and it's like, damn, if you probably just out here fucking everybody, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, damn, I never knew how it really was for a lot of guys until he told me this.
Oh yeah. Then I remember when I was in the Navy, man. We used to pull in Thailand. White guys used to get their ass kicked all the time, man.
It's still happening to this day.
Yeah, man. They used to get jumped. Like I'm talking like 2, 3 guys. This used to happen like on the regular. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how it actually went down, but yeah, the guys have to. One guy, they physically had to come pick him up. That's how bad he got beat.
Yeah, I see that all the time. Like, I've only been out a handful of times out here, but every single time I went out, some white guy or white woman was getting their ass whooped by multiple people. I saw one time a Thai guy started beating the shit out of this white woman, like punching her in her face, and like the guys she was with, the men, because it was like a big group. They just stood over her, putting their hands up, like they couldn't fight back, because then the whole street would the whole street of Thai people would whoop their ass too, but so they just put their hands up like no, stop. But I mean, that man had no shame. Nobody jumped in and said, "Hey, that's a woman." Nobody said that. They don't give a damn. They was like,
foreigner.
It's them against us.
Yep, that's how they see it. It's like that in Japan too. Same. Yeah, it's like in America, it would go the opposite. It go kind of like it'd be like total different way around. You can't beat a white woman up in public.
No.
Somebody gonna be like, "Hey, she's a woman now."
No,
you can't beat a white woman up.
It'd be worse. Them guns will come out if you put your hands on a white woman in America.
Well, I'm talking if you're in the city. If you're in the city limits, there's no guns.
Yeah, but I mean, ain't nobody gonna say, "Hey, that's a white woman now." Somebody's gonna, drop their Starbucks. And,
somebody gonna come over there. No doubt about it. I've seen this happen personally. I've seen it happen. And they did a test. Harvard did a test run of this in Central Park in New York City. Mm-hmm. They did a first scenario was a white guy. No, actually, it was a white woman hitting on the white guy in the park, and the people were laughing. Cursing the dude out, punching them, and they were laughing. Right? They've done this many times. You've probably seen a video clip of this, of one of them. And the next day they came back, and they had the white guy slapping the white woman, and everybody was like, "Hey, man, what's going on? Cut it out."
Yeah.
See? And then they came back another day with a black dude hitting the white woman. Oh boy, that was like, woo, some fire in that park.
Exactly.
They call the police and everything.
Exactly. But out here, they don't give a damn. A man is beating up a white woman. It was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
even a lot of white guys, they get jumped by lady boys out here. And, you know,
Really?
y'all know what that's about.
But
Yeah,
you don't want to.
most
He
of
ain't
the
want to
white
pay the
guys.
money.
Yeah, most of the
Yeah.
white guys that are getting their ass whooped out here are it's usually by a lady boy. You
They
know,
ain't want to pay the money.
y'all
That's all
y'all
that is.
y'all can come out here and think they're sissified all you want, but you know, first of all, I'm not even in that area. I'm a straight man. I'm a heterosexual man. So ain't no lady boy putting hands on me unless they just firing off on people for no reason that day just to do it. But
Yeah.
most of the time, like you said, it's because they didn't pay the money or
Yep.
they were doing something they shouldn't have been doing, you
Yep.
know. And that's another thing I want to talk about too is a lot of brothers, man, they coming over here and they're getting emotional. They're trying to propose to these women. They trying to fuck these women. I remember one guy was talking about how, you know, this one brother that I knew that was over here. He was talking about how he got head from this one woman and busted on her mouth. And I'm like, when she was, you know, you were getting head from her, did she, you know, was it with a condom or no? He's like, nah, no condom. Man, let me tell you something, man. There's forums over here, forum websites, and you know, a lot of these women are beyond nasty. You know, these women are beyond nasty
Yeah.
because there's a lot of there are websites over here where they're closed websites. I don't want to give them the name, and they're dudes, millions of dudes all over the world who are on these forums, and you can't get access to certain pictures unless you made a certain amount of posts, a number of posts, and
Yeah.
everybody's like, okay, all right. The admin is like, okay, he seems like a regular. I'll add him to this section over here. In this section, they show all the women that people mess with in Pattaya and other women all around Thailand. And so you'll see pictures of like guys. It's usually white guys messing around with women, and they're having sex with them raw, no condom
Oh
at
yeah.
all. Then that
Yeah.
same guy will post pictures of him having sex raw with a lady boy. And
Wow.
so a lot of you guys are smashing women, you know, whose vaginas then had, you know, somebody's fecal matter. It's filled with
Yeah. They
other
be all.
men's fecal matter up in there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why. There's two Thailand and Malaysia. It's like they done turn those two places into like Las Vegas. It's like it's the fetish land. They can go over there and do any wild, crazy fetish that they ever wanted to do, as long as you pay. So it is what it is, man. You know, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, y'all come out here messing around with a lot of these women, but these women, I'm telling you, man, these women are beyond nasty. You know,
But
you
so you
you
actually meet guys that come over there with the intention to get a girlfriend and get married.
um the guys that move out here,
I hope not.
they don't they're not gonna admit to it. But when you ask some of the, you know, you ask so many questions, you be like, okay, I see what you're really doing out here. Because the answer that for somebody who just likes to travel, the answer they should be giving you is like, hey man, you know, my money stretches a little bit farther out here. It's a little bit laid back. You know,
Yeah,
I like to travel, and this is a good hub to be at. So like, you know, flights to
yeah,
Singapore, Hong Kong, they're pretty cheap. Somebody that says that, it's like, okay, he out here because, you know, he's traveling.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Women are just the icing on the cake.
Exactly. I
But
understand
do,
that. I
but
understand that.
but dudes that are out here for the money, for the women, they'll
Oh
say some
no.
stupid shit like, "Hey, I'm out here for the culture." I'm
Oh
like,
no.
the fuck, the culture.
No. No. I know some guys that's retired Navy. They live out in Thailand too. You know. They can live dirt cheap. They said I think rent One dude said he told me his rent is like I don't know $700. He said he lived lavish too. I said, damn,
Oh,
boy. I
well,
said
yeah.
$700. I said if you come here to Atlanta, you ain't paying no $700. Nope. $700. You're gonna be living in a shack or something that's all scuffed up, raggedy. You know.
Right, right.
But he
Now
said in Thailand.
700. Like my spot right where I'm at right now is
Yeah.
300, and
Exactly.
I I have a video on what my spot looks like. It's pretty nice. Now in this
Yeah.
area, if I pay 700 and shit, that's a house.
Yeah.
That's a four
Yeah.
bedroom house over here.
Yeah. He said basically just him and some girl he met years ago. He met this girl in the 90s when we was in the Navy. He said he kept in contact with her, and she's in the 40s, you know. So he said he's kept in contact with her all these years, and he said they ended up just being down for all these years. So he said when he moved to Thailand, she looked out, showed him around, showed him what to do, as far as finding a place to live and all that good stuff. And it's all good. He said he now he's gonna trying to buy some property, you know, to rent out or whatever, something
Oh
like that.
yeah. Yeah. Nah, this is a good place to do that. Like, I don't know,
Oh yeah,
certain countries, everywhere in Asia, you just can't buy property. There's a lot of stipulations, but Thailand is one of those places where they'll allow people to just come over here. Whoever, if you got the money, sure. If you don't have to have everything in cash, they'll let you put on a good payment. You got to put down a little bit more than what you would in America, of course, but you don't have to put down the whole thing.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I-
Philippines, another good place. You know, being that it's all run down. Of course, they're not gonna reject you. They'd be happy if you come in.
yeah, that rat's nest over there. I had a homeboy. He told me about his experience in the Philippines too. And
He probably had a good experience. I bet.
nah, he said that because this was a black dude from Canada, so he's a little different, a little
Yeah,
off.
he's a little different. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was out here strictly for the hoes. You know what I'm saying? Because
Oh
he
no.
lived in Korea. He made his money in Korea. In Korea, it was strictly about business. But when he went to the Philippines, I mean, this dude had a problem. Like, I mean, he was just tricking off on women left and right. Negotiating with women. Like, no, I'll give you $10. You know what I'm saying?
What's up with that?
And he was just like, man. He goes. he said that man, the Philippines was good, but he goes, no, he said Thailand was good, but the Philippines, he's like, man, for one
Philippines is
woman,
better.
he was like, for like two, what you would pay for one woman in Thailand, you could get about five in the Philippines. I'm like,
Yeah,
hey, I
yeah.
don't know nothing about
See,
that, but he
you
he
know,
said the food was beyond horrible.
the food is bad.
Oh
Damn.
hell yeah, the food is beyond
Yeah, the
garbage.
food. Now the food is different. That's I can based on my experience, the food has an acquired taste. Cause this lady that I met in Charlotte, she was from the Philippines. They got some of the food is very has an acquired taste. I would say. I don't the shit she cooked. Some of it I liked, some of them I didn't like. But they got this damn. It's like a rotten egg that they eat, man. Oh my god, it's so nasty.
Yeah, they have
you
a
know,
special on YouTube where they I forget the name of the dish, but it's a dish that they
it's
sell,
they
but
call it
the meat comes from like a landfill. They take scraps from a landfill that people threw away, and they just recook it and serve it to the public.
over there. Well,
Yeah.
probably so. But I don't know how she cooked it over here. I don't know. But some of the stuff I never had food over there, so I can't really talk about that. I can only talk about food here, but that she cooked. But some of that stuff is it's different. Probably different than any food I've ever tasted. I would say, it's like so the food. I don't think I'm not really a big fan of the food. It's based on the food she cooked, and I keep in mind I never had any other woman from the Philippines that cooked. So maybe she was a bad cook. I don't know, you know. But
Yeah, like the dish is called pag pag or pag. It's pag, and it's
okay,
rotten meat that comes from a garbage, and the rotten
okay.
egg, it's called balut, balut,
And they
ballots.
call it baloo, but
Yeah,
something.
balut. It's like a
Oh,
fertilized rotten duck egg. Yeah, they eat nasty food over there, and they
yeah.
put sugar in everything too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, too much sugar. I'm like, my
Um,
goodness, you trying to kill us?
yeah. So the only real edible
Yeah,
foods you can really eat over there is like
American food,
yeah, American food, but it's all
basically.
fast food restaurants like Bucky's
Yeah,
and
Pizza Hut.
McDonald's. Yeah.
Yeah, they got. That's where I would go. More likely, I'd go to chain restaurants.
Yeah. You fuck
Yeah.
around and die early death over there. Old boy, he 48 talking about he want to go back to the Philippines. I'm like, shit. You eat that food over there, you ain't gonna be able. You ain't gonna make it to 50.
No. You gotta. Well, what's gonna happen? You have to go buy your own food. And or go to the. I go to Fridays. Go to Fridays. They got a
Yeah,
Fridays over there.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what. But that restaurant food that's gonna get old after a while. So man, you have to really, really focus on cooking your own food over there. Otherwise, it's just gonna be very tough. Then.
Shit,
But
you got to
yeah,
do that everywhere in Asia. Like, I mean, especially with the meat,
yeah,
you're taking a risk when
yeah,
you eat meat out here in Asia, man. I'm telling you.
yeah. Um, yeah. It's like there's kind of like a misconception that they eat well over there in Japan, China, and all these other places, but I haven't found out that to be true. What they eat different, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy. It's not the best food to eat, and
Right.
it's too much damn too much sauce and too much yeah, it's too much of that stuff that some of this sauce. I'm like, this shit will kill you. You eat this shit every day, man.
Yeah.
That's why there's a cancer epidemic over there in a lot of these other countries, man. I'm like, my goodness, I see why. But you know what's funny? You never hear anything. They never talk about it. That's the thing. It's kind of
Right.
like the people go to the hospitals and the doctors, and they go there like they act like it's normal being sick. I'm like, no, what's the matter with y'all? I mean,
Yeah.
it's like this ain't normal. You can't make it to 60 and you die. I mean, like, oh my goodness,
And then
man.
out here, it's like it's a they put fish sauce and everything out here. It's a putrid smell. Like you can tell when somebody's cooking some with fish sauce. 'Cause you walk down the street or you walk through the mall, and you smell that shit. Like it smell like ass, pussy, and bowel movement. Like it's all of that
So they
and
so
and
they
fish.
so they use fish sauce like they use soy sauce in Korea and Japan over there.
Yeah, yeah. They use soy sauce here, but they use fish sauce, and that shit is beyond disgusting. But people love it out here, and I'm like, oh
Yeah,
my
because they've
god,
been
like,
doing it forever. That's
yeah.
why.
Even
They,
foreigners like fish sauce. I'm like, you like that
they
smell?
don't know no better. They don't know no better. They don't know. I didn't even know until I left Japan, and then what happened is I got sick, Yeah, I got sick. I kept
Yeah.
having a lot of gas and like I just was out of shape, and I was like, man, what's up with what the? I was trying to figure out what was going on in my body, and then I realized that it was just my diet. So I changed my diet because I stopped eating anything with soy sauce or any soy products, and I cut out the pig. No pork chop, no pig feet, no none of that
Oh
crap.
yeah, you one of them, ain't you? You used to eat pig feet.
Yeah, yeah. I was raised up on it. I was raised
Oh,
up on the pig.
oh man,
Yeah.
that shit is
So what happened?
disgusting.
Well, I didn't think. If you young, you basically eat what your parents cook. You know.
I
I
guess,
mean,
yeah.
yeah. That's how it was. That's how it is. You eat what your parents cook. If you're like, if you're a kid, you're just a kid. You know. But as you get older, you know, and like, my body just couldn't digest that a lot of that shit, and I got to a point where I had started getting allergies real bad. I started getting allergies so bad. I was um I was getting like I thought I had sinuses, but it wasn't sinuses. It was just allergies, and no pill would work. So I'm like, oh, this is ridiculous. I couldn't. It got so bad I couldn't work. I couldn't go to work. So that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna change my diet, and a certain food I just started taking out. No salt, no salmon, no soy products, no soy sauce, none of that shit. No pig, none of that. Once I did that, that's when my whole body changed. Then I started
Yeah.
working out more like I used to when before I got out of the Navy. And I've been
Right,
fine ever since.
right. A lot of people don't know, like, allergies is like inflammation. That's just years and years of eating inflammatory
Bad food.
foods.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it starts within the gut. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And a lot of people out here, especially like, oh boy, if you go to China,
They don't care.
like everybody, damn near everybody over there, they got acne, like bad acne. And you like, fuck, like that's from eating all that garbage ass meat. That's just meat. And they love
Yeah.
meat over there. They just eat
Oh
meat,
yeah.
meat, meat. Yeah.
Oh
If
yeah.
you say you're a vegetarian in China, people look at you crazy. I'm like,
Yeah.
first of all, they not like the people don't really care about your health. They don't.
They don't care.
It's all about money.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So they'll take meat from a landfill and just recook it again and serve it to the public. They don't care. So
Yep.
hell, they even serve plastic rice, fake rice.
Plastic.
And yeah,
Oh, you mean the 5 minute rice?
no plastic, literally plastic rice. They sell fake rice to people for money.
What kind of craziness is
Shit,
that?
yeah, look that up on YouTube, Google. Shit, fake plastic rice in China, like that's like huge over there. And yeah, people don't care out here. Like even here too, people got acne, and they'll eat street food and other foreigners. They think I'm just like culturally out of touch. Like damn, like you ain't really about culture. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to get food poison. Like I'm not eating shit that was cooked off the street
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, they just not foreigners. They just don't know. You know.
Yeah, like what the fuck you eating squid? We in Chiang Mai. We all the way up north, nowhere near water in Thailand in Chiang Mai, and you want to eat squid that this dude is cooking off the side of the road from a fucking food truck. Like
Yeah.
dude probably doesn't even have the money to even clean up his food truck every single day. He's just reheating shit that nobody
Yeah.
eats.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people just And you know what the funny thing is? If you tell someone, I've done this. If you tell someone as Japanese, hey, some of that food y'all eat is really unhealthy. That's probably why you're having health problems. They'll get very uncomfortable with a statement like that. I'm like, hey, I'm just saying, I'm not saying you should. I'm not saying you should do anything. I'm just trying to make you aware of what's really going on out here. They get very uncomfortable. You know,
Right, exactly.
that's like telling somebody, hey, you shouldn't eat rice every day. They're like, what? I mean, they're like, what? Man, they'll get very upset. I want rice every day, 7 days a week. I'm like, oh my God, calm down.
Yeah, Asians they eat rice with everything. Like they'll eat rice
Yeah,
at a birthday party. They'll have cake and rice. Like what the fuck?
yeah. I'm like, yeah. So it's like, they're very emotionally attached to food. You know, probably much more than us living here in the states. You know, I would think. It seems like they have like a very emotional attachment to it. It's like I want my rice. I'm like, whoa, calm down.
Yeah, yeah. And some of these dishes, man, it's just that's why like out here in Thailand, like I don't know, like in Korea, you definitely see the old people. So a lot of people they make it to an older age, but in Thailand, I don't think people really live that long out here. To tell you the truth, and
No,
hey,
no.
that's people's decisions, but it's just
Maybe
the food is so bad out here, and like you said,
maybe
the
they do out
cancer.
in the islands. Maybe they do out in the islands, like they do in Japan. Out in what's the island name? Where the Marine base is at. Um, that's where they live at pretty long. Right? They live 90, 100 years, over 100 years old
Oh shit.
in the islands. But on the mainland, Japan, hell no. Yeah, see, and on the islands, they people have been known to live much longer because the food is different, soil is different, the air is different, everything is different. But the city life in Japan, hell no. They might be lucky if they make it to 70 in most cases.
Hell, the stress alone will kill you.
Yep, yep. You know,
Shit. Well,
people, yeah,
on
yeah. So
that
people,
note,
yeah, go ahead.
nah. On that note, shit. I'm gonna close down this video. So, you got any final words?
Yeah, if you just check out my website, chooseyourrelationships.com, and check out my channel, Guy and Girl TV.
Shit. All right, then. That's what's up. So, we over and we out. Peace.